Oh, بسم الله. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Badan daiman. Welcome again to all of our brothers and sisters. Thank you for a lot for joining us on a Sunday meeting. Again, inshallah, we're going to continue reading from Risale. From Flashes, and we're going to go into 20th Flashes and read together. We're going to basically connect this topic to last week's topic to help us for this week's discussion. So we have again two panelists joining us, one from Hikmat Hojam from Arizona, and then Mustafa Hojam from Turkey. Inshallah, we're gonna two brothers are gonna be with us, commenting and sharing their thoughts and everything with us to understand, inshallah, better. We chose this topic to continue, as I mentioned, to last week's topic. And we're going to go in detail, inshallah, that sincerity and to understand better. And inshallah, just may just put the foundation into in a better form. All right, so without further ado, inshallah, so let's just begin. And as usual, I'm going to be reading and stopping in 5 minutes and go back to our panelists. And then if any other brothers also would like to join us, please do not hesitate to raise your hand or just ask for permission to share your thoughts. Feel free, inshallah. And hopefully, Brother Jasmine is going to handle that end of the discussion. All right, inshallah, again, let's just begin. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of God, the Merciful, the Giver of Mercy. The words إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق فاعبد الله مخلصا له الدين لا لله دين الخالص. We have indeed sent down the book to you with the truth, so worship God with sincere devotion to Him in religion. To God alone is sincere devotion in religion. From Quran 39:2-3. And the honorable hadith of هلك الناس إلا الحالمون وهلك الحالمون إلا الحاملون وهلك الحاملون إلا المخلصون والمخلصون على خطر عظيم.
هلك
People,
الناس إلا العالمون وهلك العالمون إلا العاملون وهلك العاملون إلا المخلصون والمخلصون على خطر عظيم.
thank you. Thank you.
You can
I
go on.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. People are destroyed except those who know. Those who know are destroyed except those who act upon their knowledge. Those who act upon their knowledge will be destroyed except those who are sincere, and those who are sincere are still in tremendous danger. Or as he said it, there has been a difference of opinion among scholars about the authenticity of the saying as a prophetic tradition. The objections concern its chain of transmission and language, but the accuracy of its meaning has not been disputed. Therefore, whether it is a prophetic tradition or not, scholars have agreed that its meaning is accurate. As the expression Honorable Hadith indicates, Bediuzzaman Said Nursi considers it a prophetic tradition. See Battle 2011. Both show how significant a foundation sincerity is in Islam. Among the unlimited subtle points related to this matter, we will shortly elucidate 5. First point, an important and dreadful question. Why do the people of the world and heedlessness, ghafla, and even the people of deviation, dalala, and discord, nifaq, agree without rivalry, yet companions in religion, and the people of knowledge and Sufism, who are the people of truth, haq, and concord, wifaq, differ with rivalry. Now there is another deep note. Here, concord implies the alignment of human will with divine will, which follows and occasions obedience to God, while discord implies the deviation of human will from divine will, which follows and occasions disobedience. The word translated as discord, nifaq, also means hypocrisy. While agreement is the right of the people of concord, and disagreement is required for the people of discord, why did this right go there? And why did this wrong come here? Answer: among the many causes of this painful, tragic, and dreadful situation which makes the people of altruistic concern cry, we will elucidate seven. First cause: the differing of the people of truth is not due to missing reality, nor is the agreement of the people of heedlessness due to being on the side of reality. Rather, the duties of the people of the world and of politics, as well as the duties of various groups, societies, and communities, each attending to a designated duty and specific service is various layers of social life, such as those with secular education, have been designated and sorted out. What they receive in return for these duties in terms of the material remunerations pertaining to livelihood and the metaphysical ones pertaining to public attention, tawajjuhul nas, in terms of love of status, hubbul jah, glory, and honor, have been designated and allocated. Now going back to note 3, note 1, warning: public attention shall not be desired, but it may be given. When it is given, one shall not like it. If one likes it, he loses sincerity and falls into ostentation. Public attention accompanied by a desire of glory and honor is not a remuneration or reward. Rather, it is a reproach and punishment received due to lack of sincerity. Yes, it behooves to be afraid of and to escape from public attention, yet alone desire it, for in return for a particular delight that lasts temporarily until the gate of the grave. On the other side of it, public attention, glory, and honor to the detriment of righteous deeds take a disagreeable form as the torment of the grave. May fame seekers and those chasing honor and glory hear this. And was there? Yeah, there's this note too. So going back again, so there is no overlap that could result in contestation, quarrel, or rivalry. Therefore, they can preserve agreement with each other, even though the way they follow is so terrible. As for the people of religion, the companions of knowledge, and adherents of the Sufi orders, since their duties each concern the public in general, their instantaneous remunerations are not designated and specified, nor are their shares from societal positions and public attention and approval. Many can be candidates for one position. Many hands can stretch out for each material and metaphysical remuneration. Contestation and rivalry are born out of the situation, transforming concord into discord and agreement into differing. Now, the medicine for this dreadful disease is sincerity, ikhlas. Let's just stop just for now. Let's go back to the top, and I would like to now just go back to our panelists, at least just go just maybe just one by one. And I know it's like a little long kind of just part reading, and maybe we can just like divide into paragraph and paragraph, and maybe just without even asking questions, and maybe just like if we just remember some questions, I may just go back again, just refer to our panelists and just ask them their opinion on this. But I'd like to just like in general, go back to our panelists and ask their opinion overall and what they think about just like so far where we read, and maybe just like reading from the verse and the hadith just one more time, and to just what we they can just like think of it and would like to share with us. And maybe who'd like to go first? Maybe I should ask, or maybe I can just go to Mustafa from Turkey if you would like to say start. Is he available for now?
And not joined yet, abi.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can go to Hikmet Hocam maybe first and just wait for him. Hikmet Hocam, would you like to?
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm not gonna follow paragraph by paragraph, but I just wanted to mention a couple of things.
Certainly,
So,
certainly.
just to summarizing, and what I wanted to say is that
Mm-hmm.
I cannot read it even that it's I am in the phone,
Mm-hmm.
but basically this is a transient world, and then everything is going to go to till that the grave, right? The gate
Mm-hmm.
of the grave.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that. Things that you we are doing, or it doesn't matter that they are Sufi or any other that route or path that they follow,
Mm-hmm.
and all everything is going to be there, like people's clapping hands for you and just saying that you are famous and because you are frontline and you're doing everything that for maybe that for the Islam or for other things as well. But this is important in today's world. I mean, everybody needs to see me that saying like a donation. Last 2 weeks ago that we were talking about that the
Mm-hmm.
donation or any other activities that hey they need to see me. I need to be just treated well,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just a till gate of grave. That's what Ustad says here clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and accept the sincerity. Sincerity is the cure, or yeah, just one of the best thing that in order to just get whatever you wanted to get, or just to say work for the sake of Allah, and sincerity is the number one. And forget about the people's just clapping hands, saying stuff. Oh, we this brother is really great, or this person is really great because he
Mm-hmm.
did donation, a lot of donation to here
Mm-hmm.
or there, and basically that this is what I understood. And in summarizing and listening you and
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to go paragraph by paragraph, but in
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes I'm going to go to the office and then I will look at it.
Sure.
And this is what I understood. And there's otherwise people can easily go to ghafla and dalalet. That's what we said. And if he just
Mm-hmm.
compete each other instead of just helping each other, that
Mm-hmm.
is going to give us some kind of really big disease for the today's world as well, today's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Instead
Mm-hmm.
of doing that, and we can just say whatever that the brothers or other
Mm-hmm.
path is doing, as long as they are under or the just the limit of Quran and Sunnah,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to acknowledge them and for the sake of Allah and move
Mm-hmm.
on and accept their hizmat or just their
Mm-hmm.
activities or actions and good deeds, and instead of just backbiting or just talking behind their backs and completely differently. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I understood right now, and
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Manojam. Yeah, just appreciate it. Yeah, just at least, we're finding like some sort of kind of angle, and inshallah, like our approach is like fine so far. And so just what we understand, of course, I'm just that disagreement. So like Nishtad mentioned, and why it's happening. And of course, I'm just now the righteous like just people. And of course, that's what my second question was basically just going into the first paragraph of this first cause. And but of course, I mean, I'd like to maybe just stop, like, and just ask for anyone who would like to join in and share their ideas. That would be also fine. So maybe I can just wait for a minute, and anyone would like to join in. Not for now. All right. Yeah. So far, like, has been the point. I guess maybe just like the emphasis over here is like what so far, like in this paragraph, just studies this maybe mentioning, especially the here. So like, why is this happening, and why, like, it's been the real question is why among the like it's been people, just like when we see outside the other people, of course, I'm just they're not like they don't have like in some sort of, or maybe just outside, like what we see is that it looks like to us is that there's no rivalry, so they just get together, they agree on although like this is when they're like going on the like an S-ray, like this from that like this ray, so they look like they agree each other, but to us. But like in this one over here, so we think that just like, oh, just we're righteous, like this means we believe in Allah and we're on the right hand side, right? So like it's mean why there is a different kind of like that type of kind of rivalry is happening. So although like this maybe it looks like from looking outside, but I guess like I like this part as like when the duties of the people of the world in politics, as well as duties of various groups, societies, and attending like so communities each other attending like, to designated duty and specific services, various like layers of social life, such as those like in secular like in education, have been designated and sorted out. But of course, what they receive in return. Duties in terms of material like remunerations and pertaining livelihood, metaphysical ones pertaining public attention. So basically, just we're not like, especially when we read the footnote. So I like this part, like, and sometimes maybe just I'd like to ask also like our listeners and everything. So what do you guys are going to think about, especially this note three? Is that so? Yes, I mean they all just like maybe just the other side. They have designated duties, tasks, and everything, and they receive according to like when what Survey is once again is saying, like, so they receive in return of these duties in terms of material remuneration pertaining livelihood, and metaphysical ones like pertaining public attention, right? So they have some sort of kind of a leveled maybe fame, or maybe just like the different kind of like some celebrity kind of like a status or something because they have this like designation. But on the other hand, of course, we're not after that, right? So there is no such sort of kind of like just now maybe material kind of remunerations, right? So we're not like expecting any sort of kind of material return or some sort of kind of benefit, right? Nor that like we are after of that like public attention. So I think like that's why like this is the part that he says like public attention shall not be desired. So it may be given. So like yes, I mean none of the right side, right? So that religious kind of scholars or maybe just readers of this Risale-i Nur, they're not like an after for this type of kind of public attention or fame. So it's not it's just we should not be like in spend. That's why like there is a warning. So like when it start, so like it basically says that please be careful, right? So just be careful, like Nisman. So when it is given, so you shall not lack it. So even if you have it, so you should not lack it. I guess like this is the part. And so how I mean this is also another part of like the test. So right, so just having that sort of kind of thing and just and not wanting it is and one very difficult, of course, a test. And on top of it, of course, even if you have it, you should not like it. So the reason is because losing sincerity, right? And falls into ostentation. So these are like there's been two important kind of points because again, this is what we believe it. Because if one you lose it, and I guess for the past economy, just the weeks that we've been reading it, that how important sincerity is. And if you lose, like, and of course, I'm just now just if look, basically having sincerity is the number one goal in our life. Once you lose it, of course, what do you have left? So that's, I guess, like that is the part that is a huge kind of question that we've been asking over and over, and reading it for a long time, I guess, like in Risale-i Nur, and how to gain it and how to keep it And of course, I mean, how to, of course, I'm just to reach the level of mukhlas. So like I said, not only just you would like to, just reach to that sincerity level, but at the same time, helping others to reach that sort of kind of level is the part that just we should be, I guess, that after. Um, so far, like anyone else would like to join in or share their thoughts or maybe just experience or any type of kind of like
Yeah, Niyazif abi, can I join in,
Oh,
inshallah?
you're here? Oh,
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Oh, fine.
Sorry, I was a little bit
Okay.
late.
Yeah, we've been like waiting for you. Please go ahead. So,
Thank you.
please,
Uh,
please.
so this is a really interesting part. This is difficult to implement.
Isn't
You
it?
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it is. I
Mhm.
mean, we have been reading this part for many years, let's say, and when you're
Mhm.
young, you think, oh, this is important, and yes, this is needs to be implemented in our lives, and you try your best, and when you get grew older, it becomes even more difficult to implement in your life.
Mhm.
Because you realize that yourself, I mean, in society, you make yourself, your even your character, let's face it,
Mhm.
you look for public approval for what
Mhm.
you do.
Mhm.
You build a career because people around you make it, deem it as a worthy of seeking. It could be academic, or you sit in a place and you discuss something with people, and then there is always in your back of your mind,
Mhm.
if I say this, would it be okay? Would it be a good thing if I do this? If I behave in this certain way, would people like it? So you shape yourself, your character, and your movement, your everything in your life according to what people would think about you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then it applies to yourself and your life, and also into your religious duties, your
Mhm.
hizmet, maybe even.
Mhm.
So it becomes even more difficult to implement in your life. So we have to be constantly remind ourselves that we're not moving, we're not behaving, we're not supposed to be shaping our lives, or implementing, or finding a purpose in life,
Mhm.
not for people around us, but for what is right and what's truthful.
Mhm.
And this applies to in any levels of society, in your communal life, in your family life, or in general. So we have to be reminding ourselves that whatever we do, we should be doing it for the sake of Allah,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
not for other people. Other people.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So and yeah, and so especially like when that reminded me, so when I was like kind of highlighting because like that this is the part that just when you were looking at mentioning, so it's not designated, and we should be kind of just careful. And plus, I guess isn't it also kind of another reminder that so that this is what the question that so we're not after it, and it is not designated and nor that we should be after of this like designation so like oh yeah this is my job kind of thing, right? And at the same time like kind of how like there is also kind of an implicit kind of warning that and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so like he can easily designate someone and someone who is not even religious to somehow like I mean just maybe help others, right? So in order like this we should have that sort of kind of in our heart like in our just like in a conscious that continuously reminding that hey I mean yes I mean just you like maybe just doing this but don't forget so it's not just like in a your you shouldn't be after this. So you shouldn't be like in a wholeheartedly wanting this and just willing this and just trying to do this because be careful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can easily make someone else responsible or like this man have someone else like this man help this hizmet, right? So isn't it? So it's just there should be kind of that sort of kind of level of
I heard somebody from somebody told me, maybe
Mhm.
somebody asked Hulusi abi, one of
Mhm.
the students of Ustad Said Nursi, what is ikhlas, and
Mhm.
he said there should be no difference if the whole people around you are for you,
Mhm.
approval of you,
Mhm.
or the people all around you are all against you.
Mhm.
In your heart, there should be no difference in these two ways,
Right,
and
right.
this is so difficult.
Yeah,
You know, if somebody comes up to you, oh, Abi, mashallah, you're doing such great hizmet,
Yeah.
and this is so important, mashallah, and you should go back to your heart and what you feel about it. I mean, it's, you know, we all feel good about it, but
Right.
what kind of feeling is that? You know, is it like, are you looking after it? You know, it gives you a kind of a joy, maybe, but it shouldn't be make much of a difference in your heart. If
Yeah.
somebody comes up to you and criticize you, oh, you're doing such a bad hizmet, it shouldn't be making so much of a difference in your
Yeah.
heart. You should assess yourself not based on what people thinking around you, but what is right and what is wrong, what is based on what we read in Risale-i Nur. So this is difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot for that sharing that. Just Hikmet, anything else? Would you like to add a little more or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say that also maybe that anything you do, that's what I heard as well from some of the RBs that they Hulusi Abi said. Anything you do, the Hulk, meaning people, is not gonna be included in that. In that action that you are doing, people is not going to be in the action, meaning that thinking about people in your action. So this is completely removal of, as Mustafa Abi was saying, that the removal of their approval or disapproval from the actions that you are just doing. Just to completely whatever Quran and Sunnah said, and just follow the directions and do the best you can do. And for the sake of Allah, instead of just thinking about approval or people need to say tell me that, oh, Hikmet did a good job or great or something. This is what it is. Just instead, just remove everybody's approval except Allah and whatever Quran said and our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. That's included. Other than that, nothing is included in that actions. And this is also, there's a level as well that now you can remove it and everybody asks somebody else. And I remember that uh, one of the brothers were explaining that Imam Hanbali, if I'm wrong, I mean, if anybody knows that, they can correct me.
Sure.
And when he wanted to just maybe that, I don't know how he just talked to or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he he was told that instead of asking anything like a Jannah and this and that, all the things, and he was told that ask for Allah,
Right.
okay, nothing else. So that because when you ask Allah, you don't need Jannah or other things. If you accept or you gain His pleasures, Subhanallah wa Taala, that's it. Nothing that you can just gain more or anything else. So
Right.
this is what I wanted to share as well. That
Yeah.
this is all
So
I can say now, right?
yeah, but no, thank you. Like, that's a great, like, it's been a reminder, isn't it? So, like, especially, so, like, how easy it is to get lost, and especially in our jobs, like, in just like at work and or like in school or somewhere else. So, or like, it's been the society that we live in, right? So, like, and everything is like you said. So, like, as he mentioned here, so everything is so designated. So there are like rules, secular education, and this and that. So, like, the practice is totally different in daily life in our society. And then, like, and it's just here you are, like, and it's been what we are reading and what we are, like, and it's been after, like, what we are learning and trying to practice is like that doesn't match. And it just, of course, I mean, just it puts like all of us like in a different kind of like in a situation, like, where you're like gonna keep asking yourself, like, okay, so what am I gonna like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, which, like, what part, like, but then, of course, I mean, just thank Allah, like, seriously. So we have these kind of gatherings, and of course, I'm just we have Risale, like, reading, so like, and reading Quran and Hadith, and of course, I'm just Risale, and just keep like and just reminding each other, like, in the brotherhood. And then, like, you feel like, okay, so like, just now, like, this is what I should be doing, this is what I should, what I ought not to be doing, but in between, so that just the choice is the dilemma is like, and it is difficult. It is, but I guess like maybe it is needed, isn't it? So in a form of like just building character, and so to speak, isn't it? Maybe so in a way that because you're learning, and of course, I mean, at the same time, like I mean, there should be some sort of kind of chance to for us to practice it, isn't it? So we'll be, isn't it like this with the opportunity that we are after? In a way, of course, and of course, maybe setting a good example to also others, but at the same time, like being so careful that like not forgetting about this basically this warning, right? Uh, that's what I wanted to like add a little maybe just
Yes, indeed,
anyway,
indeed, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah. But of course, I'm just like in between. So like especially like in our like it's been other kind of relations, like even in our like in this brotherhood. So it is definitely needed, like that practice part and being like in a setting a good example in a such a way, like not like of course I'm just not even in a warning that just like continuously maybe we should like in definitely practice that what is it called like in Layli Kavlain, right? Like it's been smoothly, nicely, and politely. If there is some sort of kind of like just a bad kind of just practice going on, so like it's been so then there's we should continuously think about like okay, so how should we maybe correct this? And how should we just set a good example? How should we help this brother? Or maybe this type of kind of like maybe practice, how should we like get rid of it? That sort of kind of way, or like not practice any longer because it is maybe just not setting a good example to others, or maybe just the young generation or something. And so I guess like this type of kind of thing just is a great opportunity for us to practice, I believe. All right. Anything else? Like, would you like to add, like, brothers, going back to maybe Musawajam or something? So maybe anything that we forgot to mention over here so far?
I actually
Please go
remind,
ahead. Mhm.
I just remembered one example that Ustad gives
Mhm.
in
Please.
somewhere. So there is two abis, famous abis, Hafız Ali abi and Hüsrev abi.
Mhm.
And in the first phase of this hizmet, they were uh, writing the Risale-i Nur.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
one time, Ustad says to Hafız Ali abi, "Oh, Hüsrev's writing is more beautiful than yours."
Uh-huh.
And he looks at how they react to this,
Mhm.
conversation.
Right.
And then Ustad, mentions about Hafız Ali abi that he was so happy
Mhm.
that his brother's writing is more beautiful than his.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and this is a type of a behavior, that we should be, implement in our character as well.
Right.
If
Yeah.
somebody, an elderly person, somebody with an authority, or somebody else,
Right.
shows, oh, this person is better than you,
Mhm. Mhm.
what is our reaction to it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or
That's a
are
good
we,
question. Good.
unhappy with that kind of,
Mhm. Mhm.
statement? Or
Mhm.
are we happy that that brother is better than us, that he's doing more hizmet than us,
Right. Right.
type
Right.
of thing? Or in general, in social life, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe for worldly things, that could be a different story. But at
Of
least
course.
for
Of course. Yeah. Mhm.
for religious purposes, for
Mhm.
hizmet, if somebody is better than us, that he's doing more hizmet, we should be happy and not unhappy with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
something to maybe
Mhm.
difficult for us to implement
Right.
as well.
Of
Oh,
course. Of
this is
course.
a praiseworthy
Mhm.
character.
Yeah, yeah. No, like as you're total right, especially as in like as a humanity, like of course I'm just as human beings, of course. It's just like we all have the same similar, maybe I should say, like in a sense, similar kind of like inequalities or like maybe just opportunities and very similar kind of like in just reactions, like you just mentioned, and similar kind of like I mean just tests that we're going like through. So and our reactions like it's been like studied by a psychologist or sociologist or like this and that, all behavioral scientists, and we have like there's been some number of like reactions that we can choose from or like we can do like in life or maybe just fall into some obstacles and maybe just like traps like that we're surrounded with. And of course, but like it has been going some of these problems like in a head on is not going to be easy. And but of course, I'm just that like as you mentioned, like there's been that implementation, like in this practice and everything. So like it should be like in a continuously done by us, and or maybe we should go after it until like it's been to like just reshape it and reform it and maybe just like gonna better it in a way that where we can just like gonna be happy and at the same time like it's somehow like gonna just make other people happy in sort of kind of way that like gonna just be happy or like what Allah Almighty like has given us. I guess like that is also another point that I wanted to make, like make sure that so who are we just angry with, right? So like at the end of the day, so all of us have been created by Allah and have been then created on all these like the things that we have, all just whatever that we are surrounded with, whatever that the skills and talents and everything that we have, or any type of kind of wealth or maybe knowledge has been given us like by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So like and if you don't want someone else having it, so like who are you angry with? Are you angry with the brother? Or are you angry to Allah? Like it's just astaghfirullah, right? So like I mean just that means like it's when so that just like brings us to another kind of level of kind of just thinking. So just forget about like sincerity. So like that means like you have some problems with what you have, right? Or what you don't have. So and that means like that qadar kind of just level kind of just changes, right? A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You're right.
So uh,
Alaikum.
uh,
I want to ask a question.
please go ahead, just Mujam. Yeah.
It's attracted my attention here.
Please.
Mentioned the public attention,
Mhm.
teveccühün nas,
Mhm.
so the desire for glory and
Mhm.
honor. It is causing the torment of the grave, taking a
Mhm.
disagreeable form or as the torment of grave.
Mhm.
Any brother can share thoughts. Why is it causing torment of the grave?
Oh,
So I just wanted to learn if
please, yeah, yeah. Maybe we
anyone
should like read it.
wants
Yes, it
to
behooves, yeah, to be afraid of and to escape from public attention, let alone desire it, for in return for a particular delight that lasts temporarily until the gate of the great grave. On the other side of it, public attention, glory, and honor to the detriment of righteous deeds take a disagreeable form as the torment of the grave. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's just go to our panelists first. Like to ask them. So, Hikmet Hocam, Mustafa Hocam, anything that you'd like to comment on this, brothers
An
and sisters?
example just came to my mind. So
Please.
let's assume there are commanders in the army,
Mm-hmm.
and they have high status and ranking in the army, and they
Mm-hmm.
order the soldiers to do this and that, and everybody is so much in respect of that particular person. And
Mm-hmm.
that commander gets old and retires at some point
Mm-hmm.
in life, right?
Yeah.
And then after he retires and he gets out of the on street, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody recognize him, nobody have a particular respect to him
Yeah.
because he's not a commander anymore, right?
Yeah. The regular person.
And
Yeah.
you're just a random person now.
Yeah.
So and that could be difficult for that particular person, right? He was so respected, everybody was listening to him. The people were trembling right
Mm-hmm.
next to him because he was so on high status.
Yeah.
And now you get retired, even your grandsons don't listen to you, maybe,
Yeah.
right? And then it's kind of a thing like, when you die, all your worldly
Mm-hmm.
approvals or your respects are gone.
Yeah.
So you're just an ordinary person.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you have is just what Allah has given you.
Mm-hmm.
So your value, your level is about your closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be if you were so much in your particular
Mm-hmm.
level in society, you are
Mm-hmm.
so much into it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're now nobody, and you're getting tormented because of it, just
Mm-hmm.
because of you losing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there should be a lot of other aspects as well, but it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
came to my mind.
No, no, that's a great example. I like it. I like it. Hikmet Hocam,
Yeah, that's a good one. I just
please. Mm-hmm.
January that I was in San Diego with there was a big genomics conference in San Diego,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and there was chairman of the Wheat Genome Sequencing Consortium,
Uh-huh.
and she was there for 25 years. I was
Right.
there for 25 years as well, but
Mm-hmm.
this year she didn't, or she wasn't invited to give a talk. And you
Oh.
know what she said?
Wow.
Yeah, because that she is ready to retire, and then everybody understood that she's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And we had lunch together with the whole consortium, and then we were talking, and she came to me. She closely said, "Hikmet, you know what?
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like this year, this is the first time that nobody invited me because
Mhm.
I'm retiring.
Mhm.
Sometimes that I feel like you're important but not important anymore." And this is, you can easily understand in her
Mhm.
heart and soul clearly.
Mhm.
And she's done 25 years. Everybody was respecting her a lot, and she was the chairman or chairperson, yeah, of the
Yeah.
whole consortium, and then everybody was welcoming. Now
Mhm.
nobody is, maybe they were saying hi, but I think that they felt that some people are not saying hello to her. And she
Mhm.
said, "You're important but not important, or not that
Right.
important." So
Right.
this is basically what it is in the college as well, in the universities too. And
Mhm.
I know that one of the professors retired, and then
Mhm.
all he was doing is that he was coming at 5 a.m. in the morning and then leaving at 8 p.m. And he
Right.
was just publishing in variety release.
Mhm.
And he got retired, and they got his office, and like a department got his office, and they didn't give him any office. And then he was so upset, and he spent
Right.
all his life there,
Mhm.
like 45 years.
Yeah.
And this is obviously that if you just do something only for the world, that's why marifatullah, muhabbatullah, how important it is, and then that
Mhm.
work for the Allah, for the sake of Allah.
Mhm.
And this is really, really important. If you have a dawah major goal that the rest is coming behind that major goal, then you can understand it doesn't matter that you, if you are going, if they are going to say hello to you, or if they're not going to say hello to you, or if they're not going to invite you for the talk or not, or they're going to get your office.
Mhm.
And this type of thing is really important. Alhamdulillah that Allah put us really a great really goal, and we are just following, gathering together, getting together. And gathering is important, and we are
Mhm.
discussing. That is the major goal. And that's
Mhm.
why, like a month ago, I was saying that you need to rank your goals and agenda, that what
Mhm.
is your number one agenda or topic. And if it is like for the sake of Allah,
Mhm.
and for your dawah major goal, marifatullah, and then the rest is coming, or yeah, really big, huge, or it is coming, maybe that the second is coming, other things. And if you
Mhm.
lose it, and you know that this is a transient world, it's going to just come to even you the colleague that you have in the
Mhm.
college or other
Mhm.
side, they're going to come until, or your family as well, but except the
Mhm.
du'as. They
Yeah.
are gonna be in the, yeah, in front of the gate of the grave,
Mhm.
right? Nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything that this
Mhm.
world, it is
Mhm.
important if you are thinking about it for the sake of Allah as well.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something I need to do my job really well. Ali Abi was always saying that. The other Abis there as well.
Mhm.
Do your job and best, right? Spend your
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Mhm.
and the rest is leave it to Allah. Allah is gonna see it,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
yeah. This is
Definitely.
all I wanted to
Yeah.
say. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Great, Marjam. Yeah. Great examples. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Just from just, of course, my social life and everything. So I would like to go back to now, just Ozaslan. I believe, was it Tolga? I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Ozaslan.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Salam alaikum. Yeah, this
Okay,
is
Salih.
Salih. Over.
Salih. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please go ahead,
Uh,
Salih. Yeah. Please.
so Hikmat made a very nice point, giving an example, supporting this
Mhm.
meaning with an example. And one of the very few things that I have learned from the ethic classes that I have taken is
Mhm.
uh, something that might be, you know, it might be some tool, or it might be some human. One can attribute value to object in two ways, and one is intrinsic value, and the
Mhm.
other is instrumental value.
Mhm.
Intrinsic value is, of course, more important, and it is the way we should be attributing value to our brothers and sisters.
Right.
And you can imagine, for example, your spouse gives you a small gift, but it doesn't make too much money. It's not that worthy in terms of money, or it is not something quality, but just for the gift coming from your beloved makes it important. So this is intrinsic value.
Right.
And the instrumental value is something is valuable just because you gain benefit. For example, glass is valuable because you drink water, or your car is valuable because this is how you go to work and come back home, or have fun with your family driving to a picnic, let's say.
Right.
So in the society, people are also attributing value to others in two ways, intrinsic and instrumental. The instrumental value is not that warm, and as Hikmet Hoca just gave an example, a professor was not even being invited to a conference, although she has been invited for maybe decades. This is because I don't know the details, but people attribute value just because the object is exploitable, I would say. So exploitability sets the value. And as far as I understand from my own experience, and as well as other brothers' experiences, we are having difficulty in, thankfully, giving instrumental value to beings, to other colleagues or other people, because the teaching that we receive is always guiding us to develop some intrinsic value for humans. Yunus Emre has a saying, "Yaratılanı severiz, yaratandan ötürü." We love the creation due to the creator. And this lack of ability to exploit people, which is good, is sometimes causing problems in the social life, I would say.
Good point. Yeah, great point. Yeah, I like it. This angle. Yeah, just yeah, intrinsic and just from for the instrumental kind of values, and it's great like an example. And at the same time, when you just like I mentioned, like sometimes it is good, but sometimes also like as it gives also us to consider like just to think like it's been ponder over, and of course I'm just now divide and just understand like all these. And I'd like to go back like some how bad like it is, right? So like just basically just clinging on all these like public attention, glory, and all these like coming in like from outside, all these like values, unfortunately. And then how like it's been just maybe just slowly it's like detriment of like righteous deeds, right? Like the disagreeable form, and then start like tormenting, like some torment of grave, because like you're losing it, right? Like even like in a while you're, because why are you asking for that attention? And of course I'm just now looking at all these years you accumulated great kind of maybe just good deeds, but then just for the sake of maybe glory and honor, and then when you lose like start losing it, of course when it just basically gives you that sort of kind of torment, and it just basically kills all the just maybe the love inside of you because you love wrongly, maybe we should say. Yeah. I don't know, like
Also,
just Mojam, like was that
yeah,
like enough to
sorry.
answer to your question? You asked a difficult question. Yeah.
The
Can I have
answer, great. Yeah,
something to
İsmail
share?
abi, please go ahead.
Alejandro,
Yes, very shortly, yes.
please, Alejandro.
About,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, great. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
I
salam.
was driving, perhaps I couldn't catch the this main ideas given in discussion, but as far as I listen now, I am at home. I'd like to share a few sentences from the 19th Flash on frugality. Frugality. It is said that here I'd like to read public attention. Where does it come from? I think very important, especially believers. Each of us should be careful about where it comes from. I think one reason of greed, usually public attention, to the desire of public attention is greed. Greed, yes, if a believer, also believer,
Mhm.
turns her face to this world, although
Mhm.
she is a believer, she believes in the hereafter,
Mhm.
but especially to focus on the worldly affairs, I
Mhm.
think the most strong, the most dangerous spiritual disease can come, which is about greed.
Mhm.
Greed, I think, should be focused on greed, because if a person doesn't give up greed, perhaps to desire the public attention is inevitable. It is so difficult to stop.
Mhm.
This sentence I wanted to share are these at the end of the 19th flash. In short, excess and wastefulness lead to lack of contentment, and lack of contentment.
Mhm.
Sorry. Yes, lack of contentment. Sorry, greed. Sorry, the third consequence. Greed destroys sincerity.
Mhm.
Greed destroys sincerity. Why? Why does greed destroy sincerity? Because damages actions in regard to the hereafter. For if Allah-fearing person, ehli takva,
Mhm.
takva, all
Yeah.
of us, every
Mhm.
people is in the exam, even
Mhm.
ehli takva.
Mhm.
Exam is continuing. For if a Allah-fearing person suffers from greed, he
Mhm.
will desire the regard of others. Can we say, is it the same or similar, similar to desire the regard of others and public
Mhm.
attention?
Yeah.
Similar? Can we
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good
Yes.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. For if a Allah-fearing person suffers from greed, he will desire the regard of others.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
someone who considers the regard of others, I think public attention,
Mhm.
cannot have complete sincerity.
Yeah.
This consequence, I think the result is
Mhm.
extremely important
Mhm.
and worth noticing. I think key word, as far as I understand,
Right.
in this sentence is consequence, the
Right.
result.
Yeah.
Because what are the roots
Mhm.
of this spiritual illness?
Yeah.
To destroy the sincerity is result.
Right.
Result. That's why every believer, each of us, should be careful about greed.
Mhm.
Greed. What are the indications of greed, for example? So important.
Mhm.
This consequence is extremely important and
Yeah.
worth noticing.
Mhm.
Yes, and in short, there is one sentence about this. Other sentence are related to another aspects. I'd
Mhm.
like to read the one sentence
Mhm.
still related to the topic we are discussing. It
Right.
destroys greed. Yes, greed
Yeah.
destroys sincerity and
Mhm.
opens the door
Mhm.
to hypocrisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hypocrisy. I think in trade, for example,
Mhm.
to desire to be bigger, for example,
Mhm.
not step by step, suddenly, or in the company or in other uh,
Mhm.
places, to desire new post,
Mhm.
not to focus on the duty he is performing now.
Mhm.
In the future, I must obtain this position in this company.
Mhm.
I think these lead the person to greed.
Yeah.
Greed destroys and damages the sincerity,
Yeah.
because this person sees so important the support of people to obtain the position he desires, or this person focus on the regard of customers, because unfortunately, by forgetting Almighty Allah, who is Rezzaq to give importance to the customers, although the person doesn't love them, for example, but as if he loves them. I think these greed seriously problematic and destroys and damages sincerity. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a great point, Adarjan. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, especially that part, like, we kind of like touched it, but yeah, just when we match it, like, with from Risale-i Nur, so like it just made sense. Like, of course, we all agreed on, and we've been given like a similar kind of examples, but yeah, just where the root is, yeah, the greed, and of course, just now when you have greed, you become like wasteful, and of course lack of contentment, so you don't have enough time to be grateful, thankful. So when are you going to be like this feeling that just that Allah Almighty is giving everything to you, and then how are you going to offer your thanks? You don't have enough time because you've been like this. Of course, I'm just a person falls into that sort of kind of a problem, just deals with like a lot of greed and a lot of course, I'm just unnecessary, of course, just the test like, and it continues and it gets like bigger and bigger. Yeah, mashallah. Jazmujam, did you want to say anything?
Yes, thank
Please.
you. Alavi's mashallah, great answers.
Mhm,
Mustafa abi, Mustafa Polat abi, Salih abi, Ali abi.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
regarding this point, one meaning came to my mind. So this, as Ustad defines here, the public attention, seeking the public attention,
mhm,
honor, ostentations, acts, so causing us to lose sincerity.
mhm,
So this is so invalidate our actions, right? Our good
mhm,
deeds are invalidated because of seeking people's attention rather than the pleasing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
mhm,
That is telling in Barla, he is commenting on one of the students' expression. He says, "I don't share the same idea with that brother." He
mhm,
says, one of the brothers of friends of Lutfu says,
mhm,
"Oh, Aziz Ustaz, may your service ascend to the heavens, and may you roam in the epics and the history,
mhm,
uh, in the destans." Right?
mhm,
So he's saying that I don't share my brother's sentiment, feeling in this
mhm,
regard, because the divine pleasure, Reza Ilahi, is sufficient. If he is your friend, everything is your friend. If he is
mhm,
not your friend, even if the whole world applauds, it is
mhm.
worthless. People's
Yeah,
praise and admiration,
yeah.
if they become the motive behind such deeds and acts related to the hereafter,
Mhm,
nullify those deeds, invalidate our good deeds, right? If they
mhm,
act as a
mhm,
preference,
yeah,
they break the sincerity in those actions. If
mhm,
they serve as an encouragement, they diminish their purity.
yeah,
If they merely signs of acceptance granted unintentionally by Allah, then
mhm,
accepting them as a means for good influence of those deeds and knowledge on
mhm,
people is permissible. So this is the end point.
mhm,
So if we consider that people will benefit from this, it will cause people, to benefit to the pleasing of Allah,
yeah,
it may be preferred.
mhm,
So let me read the last part. If they are merely signs of acceptance granted unintentionally by Allah, then
mhm,
accepting them as a
mhm,
means for the good influence on of those deeds and knowledge on
mhm,
people is permissible. In Surah Shura, Ustaz, referring to that ayah, which
mhm,
let me read the ayah.
mhm,
وَاجْعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. Ibrahim alayhi salam is making this dua. Grant me a reputation or honor among later generations. So,
mhm,
considering, yes, the pleasing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is
mhm,
not harmful. So, in this world, so that's seeking people's attention, the favor of people, if it is for only fame, for only honor, it
mhm,
is causing insincerity. It will only help that person in the until the door of the grave.
mhm,
After that, after that, it will not help people. It will not help us. It will cause punishment because our deeds will be invalid. people cannot help us after the grave. So their pleasing, their favors, it will be useless. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, but great point. Like, yeah, just this week, yeah, just mashallah, like I really enjoyed and I really loved listening and hearing from different brothers and of course I'm different parts of Risale and just like how exactly just like the jigsaw puzzle, everything like it's basically just matched and just basically fit in place. And I guess like we're out of time for this week, unfortunately. I'd like to just thank again like our panelists and brothers and just who contributed and choose to be with us, inshallah, this week. And we're also expecting the same, inshallah, the following week. But before we just say the last word, then I would like to go back to maybe Ali Chatinka, Ali Hojam, like to just maybe recite a couple just verses and du'as, inshallah, and end today's meeting.
سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب اللهم لا تخرجنا من الدنيا إلا مع الشهادة والإيمان اللهم بحق سورة الإخلاص اجعلنا من عبادك المخلصين المخلصين آمين لله